not gonna lie, I'm a bougie biatch.
Cara Delevingne has finally talked and revealed to the entire world how she's dealing with her substance abuse. Last month, Cara was spotted publicly acting erratically in what many believed was an episode of drug-induced psychosis. Things got so bad that Cara's family and friends were planning to send her to rehab. But now, the model-turned-actress has let us all in and told us what's going on and what she's going through. Cara Delevingne, 30, cleaned up well at New York Fashion Week on September 13th after she was a no-show at the launch of the Cara Loves Karl collection. Her appearance came as a relief to fans who were worried about the model's health after she was spotted disheveled at the LA airport. Delevingne was snapped by paparazzi in September walking around erratically in dirty socks after she'd reportedly boarded a private jet belonging to Jay-Z and then abruptly disembarked 45 minutes later. In Paris, Delevingne was back to her customary elegant insouciance, posing in a black blazer dress with a plunging neckline, thigh-high black boots, and statement red lipstick. However, some insiders revealed that Delevingne's appearance in Paris bellied an ongoing substance abuse issue. Delevingne has confessed to dabbling with drugs in the past, but has not confirmed if she's currently battling addiction. A doctor friend told me they're planning to stage an intervention, a London-based fashion and modeling insider told the Post. Everyone knows her mother abused substances for years. Her mother's lucky to be alive. Carrie spent the whole of her life being around drugs, and she comes from a very troubled family, they continued. Cara's mother, Pandora Delevingne, 63, is the daughter of a flamboyant publishing tycoon, Sir Jocelyn Stevens, and Janie Sheffield, a former lady-in-waiting to Princess Margaret. Reportedly, she even helped Kate Middleton as a stylist sometimes. According to Page 6, Pandora struggled with drug abuse during Cara's childhood and was also diagnosed with bipolar disorder. In a 2020 interview with the Daily Mail, Pandora revealed she used heroin only days after her 18th birthday, and she was hooked from that moment forward. After beating her addiction, she kept struggling with addiction to other substances. That is what she said. "I had one go and that was it. It was the drug for me. It gave me all the things I didn't have, self-confidence mainly. My parents, who had to be quite strong with me by the end until I hit rock bottom, checked me into a treatment center in Weston-super-Mare. Later on, it was morphine pills, opiate-based pills, the strongest painkillers you can get. I just wanted to be able to live a normal day without the anxiety, or what I thought was normal. For a while I would, but of course the addiction caught up to me, as it always does." This gives us a deep insight into Cara and her beliefs regarding substance abuse. It's not like she's doing it, she's just been raised in an environment where she's been exposed to drugs on a regular and consistent basis. Her genetics don't help the situation either, so it makes sense for Cara to continue her mother's footsteps and go down the downward spiral of drug abuse. But this is not all that she's been vocal about recently. Delevingne got to be herself on screen for the first time in her forthcoming docuseries Planet Sex, and said she realized she was more of a prude than she thought. Speaking in Cannes at International TV Market MidCom, the 30-year-old told interviewer Emma Cox that the Fremantle-produced show for Hulu and the BBC took her in directions she never imagined when offering to tell her personal journey with sexuality in a series. "I went into the masturbation seminar thinking it was going to be a classroom and I'd have a notepad, and instead it was a pink leather gym mat on the floor with 6 people going, 'Well, take your underwear off, this is the lube,'" explained Delevingne. "I didn't realize I was a prude. I think I'm pretty hip, young, cool, down with anything kind of girl, but I was like, sorry, what? Sorry, no, absolutely not, I will not do that. But I kinda did everything I felt comfortable doing." There wasn't a moment where she had reservations, admitted Delevingne. "I was more like, what are we doing today? Because every day was completely different. I'm used to being a chameleon, but this was absurd. One day you're going to get your blood taken while having an orgasm, and the next day you're going to a porn library. I was like, right, okay, screw my head back on." Delevingne is in Cannes to promote the show, which has already been sold to 92 markets around the world, ahead of its premiere on Hulu later this year. A 10-minute preview of the episode 1 was screened to audiences in the Grand Police with strict instructions not to photograph the film or any part of the hour-long session. In the first minutes of the show, Delevingne, who has generally been linked to female partners, says that she is 100% queer. Fremantle UK boss Simone Andrea explained that the underlying theory for Planet Sex was that in each episode, Cara would explore one of those big questions about sexuality, ask it at the top, go on a voyage of discovery through laboratories, different cultures, different individuals, her own mind and body, and come out the other end with a conclusion. But Andrea, who first conceived the concept 5 years ago and attached Delevingne through their US agent at WME, wanted to avoid the sort of classic Hollywood fence-sitting because you don't want to offend anyone, and at the end arrive at a genuine conclusion, which he said was that the sexual orientation is finished by the time you're born. Asked how the BBC is going to handle Planet Sex's edgy subject matter, Andrea admitted that the BBC's versions are slightly different to the Hulu versions. There's one further layer and section of information underneath the science a little more often, but this is the BBC and they've gone for the more, I'm not sure hardcore is the right word, but a more explicit version of the show. Delevingne, who's an executive producer via her production banner Milkshake Productions, said that making the show, which was filmed during the pandemic, opened my eyes so much. She was eager to tackle the project because of its personal nature. I feel like I needed this in my life, honestly, she said. Maybe not to do it on camera, I mean that was something I wanted to do for other people, but in terms of for me, I grew up a lot. I had chosen to take a step back from love and relationships for a while before I did this, and this made me realize again how much I needed to repair certain things in my life and move on from that. I really grew up a lot. Delevingne says she's not come to any conclusions about her identity, but has come to accept herself a lot more. Asked whether it was difficult to get personal on screen, the model said she had signed up for this life, but hasn't been honest about this subject. If I can or have had the effect I have on only one person or a group of kids, I don't think I've spoken about it enough. Yes, me showing my face with someone I was in love with who happened to be the same sex was something, but that wasn't really enough in the real road and real journey I've been on in my life. The hard times, good times, great times, I was upset at myself I hadn't done it earlier, said Delevingne. Her recent downward spiral, which echoes the painful trials of her mother Pandora Delevingne, 63, a former heroin addict who was diagnosed as bipolar and struggled with drug abuse during Cara's childhood, can be traced back to March when she seemed really drunk at a party with Wyclef Jean in New York. In May, she raised eyebrows when she bizarrely trolled Megan Thee Stallion on the red carpet at the Billboard Music Awards, tossing the hip-hop star's train dramatically in the air and photobombing her after the singer won Top Rap Female Artist. Things took a turn for the worse when Delevingne flew with her older sister Poppy to Black Rock, Nevada, over Labor Day for the first Burning Man festival since the event had to shut down due to the pandemic. A longtime burner told the Post Delevingne was spotted at what she called a high roller area of the playa, where Paris Hilton stayed this year as well. It's a group that does a lot of drugs and waits to see the sunrise and then sleeps all day in the RVs, she said. They kind of go for the dance and the rave culture more than the participation. We call them the plug-and-play camps. You fly in, your RV is waiting for you, but you're not really a part of the community. In fairness to Cara, the Burning Man source said that the heat and dust this year were punishing. We were all feral when we got out, she said. It wouldn't have been a good place to go this year for someone with mental health issues. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again with more updates on everything. Goodbye!